ladies and gentlemen, and those otherwise inclined. My name is Lady2, and welcome back to the Pokemon White 2 Nuzlocke. Last time we had arrived in Castelia City and went around dealing with all the stuff we could, so getting all of the items that we can. There's a section we haven't searched yet, but I don't know if we can actually access that area just yet. Otherwise, we've pretty much been going around collecting items, battling who we can, getting the encounters. So we've already gone through the... keep that up front for now. When we've been through the sewers, hence Barbara, and picked up all of the items we can, well, so we picked up Steve on Route 4, we picked up Barbara in the sewers, and we got Homer the Pit of inside the Castelia City Park. So from here, I'm pretty much just going to be doing a last bit of training before we go to take on Berg. So obviously we've always got this breeder to face. Hence why I kept Snake up top, because she has Drilbur and Marvel. You were pretty much at the point where we can take on, or at least start taking on the gyms. I've only really got a decision to make when it comes to... that's not helpful. I've mainly just got a decision to make as to what levels do I want the team to be at when I take on Berg himself. Pete's sake! Must have... that must be Sandrush. Because there's no other reason for it to be able to keep pulling that out. Pete's sake. We will bring Homer in, probably for Steve, and we might need to bring in Marquetta as well. Which that'll be for Steve and Jax. Actually, I should probably do that now. Because we've got the repeatable battles at Game Freak. Not sure why that one showed up. In terms of it showing up after we'd left. Anyway, let's jump in here. So, Marquetta for Jax. And Homer for Steve. Definitely want to at least keep Steve back for... to make sure I've still got him for Lisa. That definitely goes on a Homer. For now. Actually, the quick hawk actually should go on a Marquetta. Poorly worked out. Snack, you should have... Yep. Trying to think who one of them opens with. Wrong way for Game Freak. We could also technically go on the Royal Unova. And use that to get a bit more experience. So yeah, I'll switch up the layout after this battle. I did open with Pain Sage. Let's go to Barbara. I forgot I still had the leftovers on Barbara. It actually might not be that bad for the upcoming battle. For you, we go back to Snack. The main reason for keeping Snack in instead of Jax and Steve is that if absolutely necessary to send one of them in, Snack should be able to survive because of how bulky Snack is compared to the other two. Now, of course, if we had an extra encounter that hadn't gone missing, or that hadn't gotten critted, rather, maybe we would be dropping Snack for this as well. Of course, that entirely depends on what Pokemon that would have been. Switch. just for this battle. So effectively, Marketer is here to be cannon fodder through the gym, if absolutely necessary. And everything else falls as they will. I did nearly forget about Cute Charm. So we'll just temper it down from here on out. That also helps. But yeah, Growly and Barbell serve to do the bulk of the work at Berg's gym. Really? You asshole. Well, we're gonna have to go for a bit more warmth. Over to Homer. Let's go heal up. So I would argue, and I'll get to the Pokemon Center and then I'll do the layout. I would argue that I'll keep Growly with the charcoal. Probably give Barbara the amulet coin. And I think for now Lily can take the leftovers. Let's do the layout switch now. There. Or you. And there you are. I'll probably need to switch out how I do the layouts at some point. At least the clustering. It would help in the long run. Names. and mark it up. Now let's move items. It's off. Silk scarf can go there. You keep the XP share for now. That'll do for now. Items. Okay, that should just be all we need. We'll see how we go. We may do the Universe before taking on Berg, or we'll do it afterwards. Actually, make sure I move Barbara to the front. I know this isn't the way to the gym. I might as well grab some Castelia canes while I'm here. Don't know why this is having the issues it's having today. At least more than normal. Actually, there's one more thing I'll do quickly. Get the massage done. Ideally, I want Barbara to have evolved into a Golbat before taking on Berg. That will indeed help. Hello. You're probably tired from wandering all over the crowded streets of Castelia City looking for Team Plasma and the gym leader. So here, I'll give you this. Dankeschön. The theme of this gym is none other than cocoons. You head upward by going inside the cocoons and travelling up the threads. The threads are definitely connected to Berg. Eventually. Hey. Jump in. Get sucked up. That one there to there. What do you think? This Pokemon gym, how should I say, isn't it full of outrageous and mysterious charms? certainly gone through a redesign. We're gonna attack. So realistically, ideally, Barbara should be dealing with, like, with Venipede and stuff. Any, like, Venipede and Whirlipede, while Growly should be dealing with the Swaddle and the Swadloon. Do the switch. Not that we particularly need to, but it'll hold through. Lord Homer. You've got quite a bit of charm yourself, don't you? Well, we try. Look carefully at the direction in which the string extends from the cocoon. Find the end of the string and proceed in that direction. What I might do, we'll keep the experience share on Homer for now. When the cocoon breaks open, the one that pops out is moi. On that side note, have a battle with moi. Did you really have to hide? So the list I was looking at for trainers was not the black and white 2 list, it was just the black list. Or the black and white list. Explains why that first battle was wrong. Here come Bubba. Wingeth attacketh. Fucking double proc. Well, it's already used up 3, if nothing else. That's right, I was taking a nap inside the cocoon. Couldn't you have just webbed up a hammock? Hiding makes battle instincts dull, you know? So why do you hide? As for you... You thought you could get through here? Think again! Oh, so you thought. I'm just blocking your way. Your other friends didn't learn. I realised I did not teach Lily Block Smash, which is what I'd want going up against the Dwebble that's in this battle. Level of Growling. Reversal. The argument would be if we drop anything, we drop, well, Rock Smash. Either Rock Smash or technically Ember. Because you'd want to hang on to Leer. I think I'll hang on to what we've got for now. Level home. Once roost, let's drop. That being said, we'll drop Leer on Homer because we don't particularly have that many Growlers. What's going for 12? Alright, Lily. Let's see. Well, we'll go with the Leer. That sort of removes Bide out of the equation. Well, the flinch out of the equation, I should say. Yeah, of course, Sand Attack. I think technically Edison T still cuts through that. I could be wrong on that though. Jeez, 10 damage on friend attack. Okay, that's up in 3. This is the sort of battle I'd want a Magnemite for. That was 11 that time, wasn't it? So we could technically send in Snack for this as well. Because it doesn't have a bug type move. I'm just trying to get a rough idea of how much damage Smackdown would do. Still relying on Fan Attack, so I think we're okay for now. But we are just starting to miss attacks instead. Let's swap out the Snack. Snack can finish it. Hopefully. There's the Smackdown. Which that's 10 to Snack, and Snack can actually tank. Should have probably gone for Leech Seed instead, just to make sure. But there goes the Dwebble. And for the combi, we will go back to Barbara. I guess one of the things I haven't touched on when it comes to the encounters is the hidden grottos, but partly that's because I don't know what I'm doing with the hidden grottos. Level to Barb. Yep, we drop Supersonic. Momo, aren't you a bit too strong? In comparison to some. Keep this a secret between you and me. Depending on which side you enter the cocoon, you'll come out somewhere different on the other end. I not already figured that out. Not exactly rocket science. Yes, I am aware I'm backtracking. I'm backtracking to go heal. So the next one is the last one before Berg, which will then deploy the shortcut. Unfortunately for us, it opens with a Dwebble. What I can do though is I can open with Snack to get the leech seed off immediately. For whatever reason that wasn't popping up. But we can get the leech seed up immediately, and then we don't have to worry about the sand attacks because it'll just go down. We'll still keep the experience share on Homer. I think technically the next battle you might be able to bypass. If you're doing a speed run, I'm pretty sure you can bypass it. Yeah, because it's just on that part there. But for the sake of experience, we should be getting these battles in. You're just one step away from being able to challenge Berg. But before that, I have to try to stop you. Because there are some gyms that will not allow you to challenge the gym leader until you've beaten all of them. Including in this game. See Sharon. There we go, immediately went for the sand attack. I was treading that line fairly close for the crit then, wasn't I? So, yeah. 32, 34, we need to be cautious. Right, go for crits. Oh, it'll just crit there. Technically, I should be using defending items. This one's got the attack a lot more than the previous. Mind you, I guess if it knows it's on borrowed time. It wouldn't want to waste it, would it? Level the Lily. And we'll go to Barbara to at least get the amulet coin. But yeah, so ideally Barbara deals with Berg's. I mean, I've got to double check if that is what it is. Yeah. Okay, arguably Barbara goes out first. Really, both Swadloon have hit protect both times, back to back. But yeah, Barbara opens. Lily hopefully deals with his Dwebble. I don't know if I can get away with the Leech Seed, because this one will have Struggle Bug. I mean, we can run it through a damage calculator and see how it's supposed to work out. Level to Homer. Your battling style is almost as artistic as Berg's. An evolution, I think it's 21. Oh, we should chat. Berg remodelled this gym in order to better understand the feelings Pokemon that wrap themselves in cocoons have. Unfortunately, we can never seem to find our way around as a result. Ibby Berg. But we can still jump down here beforehand. Which sorts out our route to the top. Something I might do. I know we've at least put, I think it's, yeah, we've at least put 40 friendship into Barbara. Starting to become friends. Let's find out which that comment means. So that's the 100 to 149. And evolution for friendship is about 220, I think. Around halfway. Go heal up again, and then we'll head to the park and try and deal with Ordinate. That probably makes more sense. Unless... just one thing to check. Okay, they're around level 16 to level 18. That was sort of the thing I wanted to check. Could be worth doing the battles with them in that case. You know what, let's do it. It does arguably mean Steve misses out, but so be it. No, wait, it was the pier I was in front of, wasn't it? Yep. Ah, only in the evening. Bye. Oh, in that case, we can come back. To the sewers. Yeah, we've had that before. Who are we opening with? Yeah, we do not open with you down here. Let's go with Lily for now. That'll be right. quit. Okay, yeah, we'll swap through the barber now. This is the one for sludge as well. We could go looking for that scientist that's doing the potions as well, if we wanted to. May do that a bit later. Go ahead and do laps until we get rustling grass. To be fair, we could be doing a bit more battling around there anyway to try and make sure we've seen everyone. Waiting for the rustles. Really? They do not appear to be forthcoming. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we'll let you go first. Pretty much anyone who's going to be going against the Ordinario is going to be utilising the leftovers. fighting. Okay. Probably could have done with that crit earlier, but so be it. Lower the hammer. I think we'll leave it on Homer for one more level. And then we'll swap it through onto Barbara. I guess you could technically call this area a little teaser for Legends EA. In terms of the wild areas, or the wild zones. Charge in, Lily. Bop. Level to Lily. Oh, we drop out of Sleuth. How much more does Homer need? Okay, one more. We'll do it. And then we should have a Tranquil. Yeah, I'm at least using 21 as an initial baseline, and then we'll focus on getting the others up. Ooh, level 18. Just so we can rotate stuff through, and then we'll focus more on the full shebang. That's annoying. Very cool. It's not end of the world. I'll try once more. Hey! I was gonna say, if that one failed, I would have swapped out. Good job, Lily. Level to Homer. And evolution time. Unless we're going to use 22 as the base. Nah, 21 is the base, so that then we can, if we need to rotate around, we can. Alright. Here we go. La Barbara. What I should do is give you the scope lens. I keep forgetting I've got the EVL, right? I need to figure that actually, that might go on the snack to allow the leech seed strat. Of course, it'll only work on Dwebble. Actually, we don't particularly need to, if it doesn't have sand attack. Well, there we go. Maybe it'll go to Haber. Actually, going on to Haber is not an awful idea, considering its defense up. Fight for the flinch. Didn't work, but they missed. So now we can tackle. I thought that would have done more damage. Oh well. Level to Lily. The only real problem I've got with using... I was going to say the only real reason issue, I should say, I have with using Marquetta as cannon fodder. I was going to say it was because, like, Patrat and Watchog are fairly common around Unova, but it's only really common in the opening areas. Certainly, everywhere else we're going for a bit, it's not that common. Like, it's not common around Nimbasa City, it's not common in the desert. There it is. What? Of course, now we start dealing with Fifers. Should still be +3. Yep, good. Level to Barbara. If it becomes a problem, we can always switch Snack in and do it that way. A bit. Maybe the long run of public holidays continues for Australia. Just coming out of Easter and then we go on to Anzac Day. And then technically another public holiday the next weekend because of the election. Which I've got to make sure I vote before. Well, if I don't do an early vote, then I've got to vote before I head out to play. Thankfully, at least I'm playing at home, so I don't have to worry as much. It'll be interesting to see how the chips land. I know my seat's relatively safe. It has been for quite a while. It does help that the federal MP's fairly likeable. Though that's not entirely why the seat's safe. Come on, Ordino. There we go. Oh, hello. This could be interesting. Stance. Or attack focus. In saying that, so you double slap, sing, attract, fake out. Will be its moveset. Fuck. Got through the snake. Ah. As long as I can get a leech seed off, we're golden. Good. Oh, the quick claw. That double slap was doing like 4 damage, wasn't it? Working out the damage calc. I'm querying whether or not it's worth switching back to Growly to try and get that health back. Because we know it immediately. Well, not immediately, but it's certainly crit. What stats am I working with? Health? Okay. That's relatively high IVs then. Defense 23. Not particularly high defensive EVs, unfortunately. Mind you, does its nature have something to do with that? No. Pretty level 18 at -1 double stack. Should be doing full. So, in other words, it would have to hit 5 times and crit at least once to knock it out. Or to knock Growly out, I should specify. Load up a Leaf Tornado. There we go. What a great ride out for Growly. Crit certainly didn't help. If that happens again, we'll go straight into the leaf. Sorry, the leech seed strat. Okie dokie. That or we can just run. Better showing. I'll do one more and then I'll go get myself a coffee and fill up my drink bottle. Well, as long as it's an Ordino, that'll get Growly to level 20. We'll see if it gets Barbara to 21. Oh, same spot. Good. That'd be right. Oh, you should break through. Over the growling. Over the Barbara. Now. What I'll do is move that there. That'll give my cat a bit of leeway to work with. Actually, I should save as well to make sure if things go awry, we still got our levels. Now, as I said, I will now go and make myself a coffee and get some, so refill my water bottle as well. So I'll be back in a little bit. Until then, feel free to do the same yourself. Have a little bit of a break, grab a drink, grab a snack, and I'll be back real soon. Until then. And I'm back. Okay. What else can we talk about while we're doing all this jazz? I guess I can go into a bit of story stuff. So, as is the norm, I keep coming up with different stories idea, fanfiction and otherwise. I've got so certainly a few that have come up recently. One's to do with Has-Been Hotel, and two are to do with Star Wars. One is a sort of in-universe crossover, and one very much a amalgamation of different stuff. Has-Been's a bit trickier to describe what I want to do with the story, just because the sort of thing that's stopping me from immediately working on it is, well, outside of trying to narrow down how many projects I'm actually working on, is a couple of the components that should be pretty big I don't have planned out. Well, I'm not entirely sure what part they'd have to play. So, like, Lilith is a fantastic example of someone I don't know. Like, I don't know what she would do in the story, but well, considering it's sort of meant to be my thoughts on a potential continuation, like season 2 and beyond, then she should have a part to play. In that, like, I would be creating a demon, technically an overlord, to have a fair bit of work through the story. No, not going to be an outright main character, maybe a major side character. Or like a secondary main. At absolute most. And I know that that's the sort of thing that sometimes gets on people's nerves when it comes to fandom stuff, because they immediately just want to label it as a self-insert and that's not how this could possibly work and all that jazz, but like, you'll find most any character you start to work with when you're doing fanfiction, whether it's an OC or whether it's what you think those characters would do, or the canon characters would do in certain situations, is going to always carry a thread of bias of the author and a bit of the author implanted into them. So it's always I find it always a bit of a weird critique. Really? No rustling glass? Well, yeah, I think it's a weird critique, especially when like, I think the critique is more aimed at like Mary Sue's, Gary Sue's sort of stuff. But even then, like, those are very catch-all, overused, extremely overused terms nowadays. Frankly, overused to the point that they have no meaning anymore. But anyway, to get somewhat back on track, would be making an Overlord to sort of pile in. I'd be looking at a sort of a rock and roll demon called Amadeus. There's a couple of reasons for that name. The obvious one, yes, rock me Amadeus. Part of me couldn't exactly resist that. Oh, Amadeus. The other reason, I will hold off on saying. Because it may be a slight spoiler. Or at the very least, it should raise some questions. And that's more so the idea with Amadeus, is I want to raise a bit more questions about, you know, the path to redemption and that sort of thing. Mind you, that's not going to be the entirety of why the story is, but that, or of what the story would be, but that's at least a decent amount of what his presence will be. And slightly inspired by a couple of audio roleplays I've heard recently as well. As for the As for the Star Wars stories, so I said in-universe crossover, technically it's a bit more time travel fix-it stuff. Both were at the very least within the Clone Wars. The first is, so that time travel fix-it sort of stuff will be like effectively dragging Rebels characters back into the Clone Wars time. The main question is, or the main questions are, when do you pull the characters back? Yeah. One, when do you pull the characters back? And two, when within the Clone Wars do you introduce them? And obviously there's the bit of, like, what will them being in there have an impact on, that sort of thing. I would pretty much be bringing in all of the Ghost crew. At the very least, all the Spectres. I don't think I'd bring Rex back through. I don't think I'd bring Ahsoka through. Certainly if I bring Ahsoka through, it's gotta be late. Over to Marquetta. With the knowledge that Ahsoka has to be... Well, it either has to be early doors Ahsoka in Rebels, or it has to be like Ahsoka introduced very late into the war. And Rex, because of knowing what's going on with the chips, would be a portion we want to bring through. Frankly, any of the clones at that point in time fit that billing. Sabine, I would think I'd be bringing through The Sabine needs to be pretty much either just after, I won't say just after, but maybe a little bit after the season 4 finale, not including the epilogue. Or it's got to be not long after the Night of a Thousand Tears. Hera would pretty much have to come from the same time period, full stop. The question will be whether or not she's had Jason by that point. If it's around the Night of a Thousand Tears, she would have. If it's... I can't remember. If it's around... okay, at least we got away with it. If it's later on, or sorry, if it's earlier than that, then maybe she's not had it. Chopper would definitely come from the same time period as Hera. And we'll probably be ghosting with that. I've got no idea what I'm plucking over the Growly. I've got no idea when I'm plucking... Ooh, Fire Fan. Actually, we'll drop Ember for that, I think. And level the Marketta. Hypnosis we definitely want. So I'll drop Sand Attack for it. Okie dokie, now we can swap Growly out. Yeah, I've got no idea where I'd pluck Zeb from. I'm not sure if I'd bring Callus through. I think if I bring Callus through, then I've got to bring Callus and Zeb from the same time period through. I don't know if I bring Kanan through. If I bring Kanan through, it'll be end of Season 3, start of Season 4 Kanan. Ezra's gotta be end of Season 4 onwards. It's just how far onwards. Like a certain amount of me would argue Sabine and Ezra should come from the same time. Hera should be close in that. Zeb's the tricky one. But Hera, Sabine, Chopper, and potentially Jason would have to all be they'd have to all be from the same time period. Or they'd all be in from the start. Or at the very least Sabine first. The other, which is much more the crossover stuff, crossover between Star Wars and Marvel. Probably more focus on the MCU because I'm more familiar with that. How much of that comes across? Well, that's the question. I think the general attitude is if you're going to do that, you want to be at around the end of Phase 2. Well, effectively, end of Age of Ultron onwards, or the end of Ant-Man onwards. Pretty much anywhere between the end of Age of Ultron because you can work around Ant-Man to before Civil War. Of course. Please be 2. Yay! Snack will push to... Snack will go to 22. And then we'll start bringing everybody else up to 22. With Marketa being the exception there. And a certain amount of that is... a certain amount of getting that sort of crossover is the intermingling of characters from the different franchises. Like, Cap should get along well with Anakin, but should also get along well with Obi-Wan. Where are you? Up there. Pete would be bloody interesting around the Mandalorians. Pete would be real interesting around the Mandalorians, because most of them would actually respect him. Respect how he does it, or at least respect a certain amount of his strength at the bare minimum. Like a certain amount of Death Watch would, and even the Night Owls would respect the power that he's got. Though not necessarily the way he uses it. The new Mandalorians would appreciate how non-lethal he is. Though Satine would not be happy with how young he is. You could have an interesting element. Element's not the right word. Interesting dynamic between Pete and Bo-Katan, especially depending on how you run her age. Because a certain amount of the implication now level to Marketa, or at least what's been regurgitated a lot more within the last few years, is Bo's a lot younger in the Clone Wars than people initially thought she was. Like, I think most people expected Bo to be around Satine's age. And Satine's about Obi-Wan's age. When in reality, or at least how things have shifted, Bo seems a lot more around 17, 18 when we see her first. So at the end of the Clone Wars, she's maybe 19, 20 at the absolute oldest. Which fits in with a certain amount of Mandalorian knowledge. But not all of it. Oh, it does also somewhat raise some eyebrows. Now we'll go for the Leech Seed, because a track can actually affect. But you could also very much see, and I don't know if I do bring him in, but you could certainly see somebody like Murdoch getting under Bo's skin as well. there probably would be some inter-franchise relationships. How much of that remains to be seen. I think when people have done it, like Pietro's been shipped. Well, Pietro's at least been shipped a little bit with Ryu, Chi-Chi. Of course, I can just, even if I'm gonna do those, I'd be planning them out at this stage while I actually try to focus on the stories I've already started. As for the campaign I'm working on, well, I say campaign, it's more a system I'm looking to work on. To do with, it's sort of like a killing game, survival game scenario. There's the attract. So, sort of Danganronpa. Damn it. Oh, the snack. I'm more sort of looking to try and amalgamate a system that can work not just for that, like not just for that sort of killing game structure, but also for like the whatchamacallits, the like could work for a battle royale scenario with that sort of thing. Oh, that sure, do whatever. We had a system. Just because you have to freeze up does not mean you have to ruin my system. But yeah, the initial selling point I had in pitching it to them was that sort of killing game scenario. My idea would just be calling it happy hunting. But that's sort of the line I was thinking of. For you, like in terms of body being discovered, you have a certain amount of time to do the trial. It's like, for the murderer, or to the murderer, happy hiding. To everyone else, happy hunting. But the premise of it being like a happy hunting anyway sort of works for the people who want to kill as well. Fine. Plus, yay! Unfortunately, you do not burn. At least it keeps pushing refresh. I need to see whether Fire Fang's stronger than Flame Wheel. In theory, it should be the way the PP works. That's not always the case. Breakthrough 3 in a row, okay. Build a Marquetta, and now we'll swap it off, because this should be the evolution. There we go. Marketo has evolved. Should be getting Super Fang. Oh no, one's confused though. Considering current moveset, no. I shall save to make sure we keep the evolution, and then we'll switch through the layout. We will then get that experience share off of Marketo. We'll put it onto Barbara. Because of all of them, Barbara's the one that should still struggle here. At least getting a hypnosis isn't such a bad thing. It means we can always bring Marketo in to start doing some catches if we want. Actually, considering one of the... I thought I heard a rustle, but no. Certainly considering one of the Pokemon we'll be going up against, or one of the trainers that may be in our way. Having something like that may not be a bad thing. Though I need to remember what Magic Guard does. Or not, it's not Magic Guard. It's definitely not Wonder Guard, because I know Wonder Guard. The, that makes status moves less accurate. Here you are. I haven't actually put the evolutions into my tracker yet. That's something that needs to happen soon. And I'll do that once we're done evolving. Well, we're done with our setup. I'm sorry, I know a lot of this has been just the standard grind through and stuff. And it's gonna happen every now and then. Perfect. Flame wheel. Got the same damage. Is it just the flinch then that's why it doesn't? Maybe. Oh, technically I can check on the decks. It is slightly stronger. 5 base higher, but it's less accurate by 5. I don't know if there's a difference in burn chance. There probably is. I can check that as well, but I'll do that during the battle. Because I think that's how the Fang works move. It's less chance to like burn, paralyze, freeze than average, but with the added bonus of a potential to flinch. What was up there? Righto, another ordinary. I don't know. Same percentage chance. 10% for both. I would have thought Flame Wheel would have been slightly higher than that. I'm not too concerned with that, considering this should be the last battle for Growly. Okay, it's not. If nothing else, my Marquetta could play into like a sleep and intimidate player. I'm more thinking of Lavani than anything else. How close I... Okay, yeah. You probably do need to actually face an Ordinary, other than just some wilds. That's the question with the NTE Star Wars crossovers, how much stuff do you bring over? Like, even though it's after Age of Ultron, do you revive Ultron and unleash him on the galaxy? Does Thanos manage to come over? And if so, how? How do the magics intertwine with the Force? How do all this sort of stuff? Like, there's a lot to consider if you want to go down that path. It's not like either a small projects. In terms of scale, not necessarily like following and all that jazz. No, this does not want to show up, does it? Let's just get a battle in then. There's a 5% chance encounter. I might need to save again after this. I mean, we can save. Fucking course it avoided that. There's a problem with these sorts of things. If your move has any chance to miss, it will miss. What was that? It was small ant, was it? With that adage? If it's not 100% to hit, it's 50% to hit. At least we got that out. That'll slow it down. Well, it puts a timer on things anyway. Back to you, Growly. Oh, another Intimidate. Okay, so quick attack, bite. A sand attack. What will the other moves be? I'll put in my head, it's helping hand. I'm pretty much just gained all that back. I'm fine working with quick attack because I know that won't be able to kill on a crit. The bite's a slight problem. Interestingly, of the Pokemon that's in this park, it's the Petalil that we haven't seen. The reason I say that's interesting is it's the one that's the most likely to show up. Bloody the frames that keep holding up are the reason why we keep cutting across the grass. Pete's sake. There we go. This will get both Growly and Barbara to level. And that should be an evolution for Barbara as well. start with Leah. I did say go down. Interesting. Plop. Over to Growling. Over to Barbara. And evolution. Sure is fleeting. Put it out. Do another save just to make sure things don't go awry. I do need to swap Lily through. Down we go to you. There you go. Come on. At least it's not long now. So I need a couple more Wardeno and then we'll be right to go. So let's hope we can come up against Wardeno. You arsehole. Technically, actually, I could have kept Lily in. I forgot Lily was female. Because my attitude was do this for the attract. Back you come, Lily. Bulk, bulk, bulk. Aye. How How the hell have we gone through this? Oh, I was going to say this without taking any damage, but we took damage from the first fake out. Good hope. Good. Less hits, better. No fancyisms, just damage. Now fancyism. Good old crit. Nothing beats that. Okay, hopefully just one more Ordino to go. I've also been working on the next What About This video. I need to sort out some of the middling stuff. The ending's easy, the beginning's easy, it's sorting out a bit of the order in the middle. In terms of actually editing the thing, I've gotten better at that sort of with that sort of video, especially after the Masters 8 stuff, so I've definitely gotten faster at it. Come on, Lily. Ah, come on. Maybe I should be using the Destiny Bond. Sorry, Destiny Bond, the Destiny Knot. Whenever I'm trying to deal with Ordino. Or at least the Ordino seems to want to waste its time as well. Bang. Thank you for critting that. Level to Lily. And level the hammer. Now we head to the Pokémon Center. Just run from these. Alright, what do you want to give me? Easy cycling. Let's start. And then we'll shift items around. Actually, the one thing I'll do first though, because it may change how I strategize this. So your defense is 47, and your special defense is 39. Now, I was going to give Sneck the EVO light. You are... Relax. Move. Looks like low special defense CVs. Oh, sorry, IVs, I should say. 62. Not great special attack IVs either. Okay. Looking like IV wise, Sneck didn't roll particularly well, except for attack and defense. I mean, HP may be decent. I want to give you an EV, alright. There we go. Up against a Dwebble. That's level 22. Okay. We should be able to send in Sneck against his Dwebble, because it should not be able to do anything. So we should be able to work with that. Rock Slide ability, sorry, the Rock Slide, the Leech Seed setup. That being said, that Lavani is going to be a problem, even now. Bug, Leaf Blade, Cut. Even then we should actually be able to take a hit, which is good. And realistically we should be able to get that. So at least at -1 that actually works well. For the sake of it, I need to see how that matches up with Growly. Sorry, I know this is fiddly, but I would rather check this going in. 4? Okay, you've actually done alright there. Alright there. Rocky, Darkon. For the sake of it. Maybe we can see how much damage we do. 39. So that goes down. Average attack. Oh, shithouse defense. Absolutely shithouse defensive IVs. Uh, 36. Not great special attack either. Okay, not great full stop apart from HP and speed. But we should still be okay anyway. Move items around. You keep that. You go there. We'll give the scope lens to Homer. And then the other two will get what they need. Also, you open. Take that. And you take the EVO light. And this is certainly the time where we could go in the Royal Universe now if we wanted to. Maybe we'll do that afterwards to wrap things up. Who knows? Just give me a moment while I sort out my team on my tracker. Evolve. You've evolved. You get to join the team. You're out of the team. Add and evolve. Yep, that's it. Make sure everyone's got their coin, leftovers, shuckle, escape lens, PVL light, and experience share. Okay, good. You're all set. I'll save just to make sure if it crashes mid-battle, we don't have to worry about all the prep again. Good work back there with Team Plasma. My bug-type Pokemon have been scurrying with excitement about getting to battle you. I'd say my bug-type Pokemon are pretty great. Come on, let me brag a little. Dwebble's round little eyes are cute. It's resilient and reliable. My ace is Lavani. It's really the best. I think it's so sweet how it makes clothes for other Pokemon out of leaves. Of course, I'm really proud of all my Pokemon. Well now, let's get right to it. Swaddling out first to deal with Barbara. Go for a wing attack. And immediately down. For Dwebble. Because this is the one that could take a time, so to speak. We start with Snack. Get the Leech Seed out. I'd avoided Leech Seed? You piece of shit. Damage, it maxed out on it. Also, this removes Sturdy. Lights, please. Time to show me what you bug-type Pokemon are made of. Switch through to Lily. I could have maybe thrown Steven here instead, just to... get that sorted out, but nah. Italy. Fucking crit. 38. Okay. So 28, halve it. 14 damage, roughly. Would be normal. Go to bite. Now this should put it just out of potion range. I'll take that, because the Leech Seed will finish it off and we get a bit more healing in. Immediately Growly comes out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Could I be in trouble? We have a chance to one-hit KO with Fire Fang, so we'll go with it. Bullseye. Roll to Marketo. Sylvie, you're incredible. Oh, you are very strong indeed. I guess it's no surprise I lost. Here, take this insect badge. I think it'll suit you. Badge number 3. And with no deaths. This is getting back to diamond levels of consistency. Oh, receive the insect badge from Burr. Oh, the insect badge suits you even better than I thought it would. If you have 3 badges, Pokemon up to level 40 will obey you, including traded Pokemon. And, you know what? I'll also give you this. Struggle Bug. Struggle Bug also lowers the special attack of the target that was damaged. I'm the best guy to tell you this. It's the little things that count. How many discoveries have you made since you started your adventure? When I was a kid, my innocent heart was captured by the beauty of bug-type Pokemon. I drew with them and battled with them, and after all this time, I continue to discover new things. A world shared with Pokemon is a world swarming with mysteries. Cameo. Each acquired. And I should save just to make sure. And that went pretty damn well. Well, it certainly went a lot better than I was expecting it to. We'll need to shuffle the team around a bit again, but otherwise... I did say go down. Wow, that's amazing! You swatted aside our gym leader Berg's tricky attacks. I can barely imagine how much stronger you're going to get. Donka. With that, let's go heal back up. We'll shuffle the team around a bit. We'll drop Marketo out for Steve. I'm wondering if we bring Jax in. Jaxel at the very least. Assuming we don't catch any encounters before Nimbasa, Jax would need to come in for the gym leader anyway. I mean, technically, oh yeah, it would, because we've got 2 flyers. that'll probably end up being Jax as cannon fodder. Steve in. Actually, that could be a good place to end it, couldn't it? That is probably what I should do then. So yeah, that's the end of the stream. We've gotten our third badge. Most of the teams relatively well set up to go. So yeah, next time we'll head up Route 4, go along through the desert, battle who we can, catch what we can as well, hopefully, and get ourselves ready for the next gym, which is the electric gym led by Elisa. But yeah, until next time guys, thanks for tuning in live if you did, if you're watching on playback, thanks for watching. As always, I've been Thwongle82, feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.